don't want it. I know you don't care about power, but I ask you now, if we choose you, will you wear the crown?
Why do you think I came all this way?
I did a series a little over a year ago, which I called Fixing Game of Thrones. It addressed some of the main characters on the show and how their arcs could have ended better based on the point the series left off at in season 7. At the time, I didn't do one on Bran because after season 7, his character was too far gone and weird.
It was so beautiful that night. Snow falling. Just like now. And you were so beautiful. In your white wedding dress.
But recently, I saw this article on Screen Rant. They proposed in a hypothetical season 9 of Game of Thrones that Bran could be made the villain. Now, I know this isn't an original idea. Many of us felt that way even when the show ended. Bran was creepy in the final 2 seasons. His lack of emotion and humanity, coupled with his ability to see things no one else could, made it seem possible that he could have manipulated events to gain the throne for himself. Now, Dan and Dave never closed the deal, though, on such a plot, and no one connected with the show has even hinted that an evil Bran was their intention. So the only way to fix his character would be to continue the story. And while I think it's highly unlikely that we'll ever see a season 9 of the original Game of Thrones series, it would be the only way to clean up not only Bran, but the mess left in season 8 that at least 70% of the audience rejected. And I know, going back and retconning things is often a heavy handed and inappropriate way to fix mistakes that were made. But if you break something and glue it back together again, it doesn't look perfect, and every time you look at it, you remember it's not what it once was, but it's better than having all the pieces just scattered about. What would make this retcon work, though, over most, is that the key element, Bran's powers and ability to see things, was already in the story. It's not like wedging all of that in after the fact. That would be eye rolling. Bran's powers also conveniently help us repair the biggest problems in the final couple of seasons, characters doing inexplicable things. When you make it that Bran was behind it, then you can come to terms with Littlefinger ridiculously trying to get Sansa to turn on her sister. This is a man who set in motion events that would lead to the Starks and the Lannisters turning on each other. He deceived Ned and then was involved in the plot to kill Joffrey. To see his bumbling, amateurish antics in Winterfell was laughable. The only way to fix that is to make it that Bran was plotting to eliminate him. Then, of course, we have Dany going mad. Even if you feel as if she was hard edged and at times ruthless, it wasn't in a way that was any more severe than someone like Tywin. And he wouldn't destroy an entire city. It makes no sense, particularly just as the bells sounded signifying the Lannisters' surrender. And I think this scene can easily be retconned in as her being infiltrated by Bran and pushed over the edge to commit terrible atrocities. Incidentally, if George had written the people turning on Dany and thinking she had gone crazy, it would have been done in a believable fashion, such as Dany going to the Red Keep to kill Cersei, and that resulting in collateral damage, killing citizens during her act of revenge. The way Benioff and Weiss did it, the only way to explain it is through Bran's manipulation. Then we have Tyrion, who became dumbed down in the final couple of seasons. It was eye rolling when he suggested that Bran should rule. The Tyrion we had seen in the first 6 seasons would have most likely offered Sansa's queen, not her psychopathic brother. Tyrion had a long history with Sansa, and he understood all she had endured, and I think he'd see a survivalist like her as the best option for a realm that needed to be put back together again. One of the funnier aspects in the endgame was having Jon banished beyond the wall after he killed the woman who just burned King's Landing to the ground. He's punished for saving the realm. The only way to explain this mess is the influence of Bran. Some have speculated that you could have it that the Night King warged into Bran before Arya stabbed him. But I think the better route to take is that, due to Bran becoming the three-eyed raven, the death of the Night King is just something else that he engineered. That also keeps his actions prior to the Battle of Winterfell, like manipulating Littlefinger, plausible. I imagine you could say that the Night King grabbing Bran here then marked and claimed him as a vessel for his own goals, but I still don't think that works as well since it was presented as the Night King coming to kill Bran in season 8. All this effort just to warg into him doesn't make as much sense either. So I believe all the pieces fit for a Machiavellian Bran, who directed events while everyone else played a Game of Thrones where they had no chance of succeeding in the end. If Dan and Dave had built the road to this sort of ending, it could have worked. It certainly would have been better than what we got. The season 9 that was proposed in the Screen Rant article would be interesting to see, but at this point, I don't see it happening. So, what does everyone else think of this, both the evil Bran scenario and would there be any interest in seeing the remaining cast return either in a season 9 or a movie to provide closure for the original Game of Thrones story? If you enjoyed this one, make sure to hit the like button. If you're interested in more on House of the Dragon and A Song of Ice and Fire, listen to Caraxes and subscribe. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you soon.